Hey guys, welcome to Barret is Terrible to the Panic Freeze featuring the new Abomasnow from PAL Evolve with a freezing disaster ability, preventing all Pokemons in play from being healed. We have our Alolan Raticate to do Super Fang with our reversal energy combo, helping us satisfy the attack cost if we have more prize cards remaining than our opponent. And since we are not drawing any prize cards for this deck, we are not planning on doing any knockouts for this deck, and that's why we get to play our reversal energy for Raticate for us to wall using our Panic Mask. So that is the main strategy that we are pulling off. We are trying to wall until the very end by blocking our opponent from doing any damage at all onto our Pokemon until we can lock them from drawing enough prize cards to win the game. So they cannot draw, if they can't draw enough prize cards, if they can't empty our field, if they can't do any damage onto our Pokemon, if they don't play enough Lost Vacuums, then we get to basically secure the win by locking them until the very end from doing any damage onto our key Pokemons. So we want to be attaching our Panic Mask onto our key Pokemons, not just our Alolan Raticate, but also either Mimikyu or our Snorlax, since Mimikyu has the ability Safeguard that allows you to prevent all damage done by EX or V Pokemons onto this Pokemon. If your opponent has EXs or V Pokemons in play, they are not doing any damage at all onto your Mimikyu, and all we need is to bring down the other one prize Pokemons that they have as support like Bibarel or Excalibur. We just need to play Super Fang on those key Pokemons with our boss to drop them down to 10 HP remaining, and then attach our Panic Mask onto our Mimikyu to basically wall off, preventing all damage done to this Pokemon by all of our opponent's Pokemon. Basically, they can't do any damage onto Mimikyu with their Chin-Pow, with their Palkia, not even with their Excalibur or Greninja. We also have our Manaphy for the bench barrier, Bibarel for the draw support, Zoroark to transform into our Abomasnow or another Raticate, helping us do Super Fang another time. We are playing our Roseanne to shuffle back our tool card, Special Energy, and also Stadium. We are using Collapse Stadium to basically drop off until both players have 4 bench Pokemon remaining. So we are only allowed to play 4 bench Pokemon at a time, which isn't a big deal because we actually get to remove 1 Pokemon from our bench, basically denying our opponent from drawing that extra 1 prize card. So we want to be discarding a Pokemon from play. Collapse Stadium helps us deny our opponent from drawing enough prizes to win the game. If we don't have enough Panic Mask, if we don't have enough masks to attach onto our Pokemon on the bench, they can quite easily do a boss or escape rope to target those Pokemons and draw extra prize cards if we bench too many Pokemon. We also have our usual trainers for the setup, our switch cards, 1 Energy Loto to dig for either double turbo or reversal to play them at the right time, 1 Serena, 2 balls to target the right Pokemon. We have for the draw support 1 Bruno and 1 Iono as well. To dig for the evolution, we are playing 1 Arezu, 1 Mesagoza, 1 Great Ball, 1 Aroma with 3 Ultra Ball, and also Arven to search for the right item with our sneaky tool for a special lock. Finally, for security, we have 1 Raihan for the extra energy, helping us satisfy the attack cost just in case we don't get to play our reversal. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay and see how well this deck works. Okay, let's go for our first game versus Miraidon EX. They got the new Belly Bolt as well. Belly Bolt EX from PAL Evolve. So for this game, we actually don't have a Manaphy. Manaphy helps you guard your bench from any snipers, which is actually essential for any one prize deck. So eventually we added a Manaphy into the list, so there's nothing for you to worry about. We have 1 less Abomasnow though, so now we only have 1 copy of the stage 1, the new Abomasnow from PAL Evolve, which is a little bit risky because we have no Peonia to dig it from the prize, and since we are not drawing any prize cards, we may not get the Abomasnow for the entire game. It may be healthy to swap maybe a supporter for a Peonia, just because we are not drawing any prize cards, we're not doing any knockouts with this deck. So it's actually quite important for us to be playing Peonia, so that we get to dig for any cards that get stuck in the prize. We could have like 2 copies of the mask inside the prize, and that would be quite terrible. Anyways, back to the game. So they got the 1 prize Miraidon, I think from PAL Evolve as well, that does a snipe on the bench. They haven't have enough energies attached to it though. They need 3 energies for the snipe effect, so they need to switch or retreat and play their generator before they can attack with the 1 prize Miraidon. So since they are playing so many V and EXs, since they are attacking with Roblox Pokemons, might as well just make use of Mimikyu for this game. Mimikyu is going to be our secret ingredient our, what's it called again? Our secret weapon against Miraidon, just because we can, all we need is to drop down the any one prize Pokemon that they have in play, any Pokemon that isn't an EX or V. We just need to play Super Fang on those Pokemon, dropping their HP down to 40 or less, allowing us to prevent all damage done to our Mimikyu from all of our opponent's Pokemon. So at the last minute, we just need to bench our Mimikyu and attach the mask onto it, put it into the active, and make sure we cut down our bench. With our Collapse Stadium, we get to deny our opponent from drawing enough prize cards to win the game. So even if they do boss or escape ropes, they may not be able to knock out that one Mimikyu, and that could actually secure us the win if we just deny them from knocking out the Mimikyu. So we're kind of forcing them to play Lost Vacuum. If they don't play enough copies, they're done. If they don't do enough knockouts, if we don't bench enough Pokemons, they're done. So it's kind of a fun control deck that you get to play with. We're locking our opponent from drawing enough prize cards. It's almost like an Alolan Vulpix deck, except we're using Panic Mask from Lost Origin, a very funny card that fits really well with Alolan Raticate. And we already benched our Mimikyu apparently. So we have to attach our mask onto the Mimikyu. That's all we need to worry about. Obviously doing the boss on the Belly Bolt before it evolves. They haven't benched the Tadpole yet. Tadbulb. So they're gonna do it on the next turn and eventually evolve into the Belly Bolt. And we actually have no Manaphy on the bench, and that means they get to snipe with the Belly Bolt EX. The EX has an attack that allows them to do 50 damage onto any one of their opponent's Pokemon, and that means they get to target our Mimikyu for 50 damage on the bench. But since it is an EX Pokemon, they're not doing any damage onto the Mimikyu, even on the bench. So Mimikyu's ability works anywhere, wherever it is. It doesn't need to be in the active spot for its ability to work. Safeguard is almost like Miltank, except a lot better. Because it defends against EX attacks. It prevents all damage done to it by V Pokemons as well. And here comes the Ilaki VMAX. So right now we have 6 Pokemons in play, and our opponent have not drawn any prize cards yet. We have to actually prepare to cut down our Pokemon by playing the Collapse Stadium at the right time, prepare to attach the mask at the right time onto the right Pokemons, and deny our opponent from drawing enough prize cards to win the game. So we kind of have to count how many prizes they have remaining and prepare for it, and be very careful by denying them enough prizes. Obviously, they can still play Echoing Horn or even Greedent VMAX to get extra prizes for a single knockout, but we are playing evolutions though, so if they play Greedent VMAX, they can't actually draw extra prizes if they kill a stage 1 Pokemon. So that's the plus side. We have to be careful with Mimikyu though. If they play Cologne, for example, with the Greedent VMAX, they can quite easily just knock it out for 3 prize, and we kind of have to shuffle it back on the next turn. If they play another Cologne, we would be done for. So if we're not up against Greedent VMAX or any decks that play Echoing Horn, we should be fine. If they do a Wugtrio Mill as well, we would need the other Bibarel. I thought about adding the other Bibarel into this deck, the one from Pokemon Go that denies your opponent from discarding any cards from your deck by with effects of their attacks, with trainer cards, items, supporter cards. They can't discard any card from your deck with abilities as well, which is super fun, and that means you are denying them from discarding, from milling you to death. So they can't win with a deck mill. Problem is, if you play the other Bibarel though, you may get it at the wrong time. You may have, you may have to play 2 Bibarels on your bench, and that means you can't actually play the Collapse Stadium, which is still fine though, just because if you play against a Wugtrio deck, they are not doing any damage at all, so Panic Mask is basically worthless. But we can actually play our Skwovet and Bibarel. We can just bench a Skwovet Bibarel. We don't need Raticate anymore, so we just need both Bibarels in play, 2 different copies, 2 different type of Bibarels, one for the draw engine and one to basically help us supply our hand so that we get to play the right cards at the right time. We actually don't need to draw though, we just need to have that one Bibarel in play with our Zoroark possibly to transform back into the Bibarel and the Skwovet to keep on shuffling back, putting cards back into the deck so that we don't deck out faster than our opponent. So if both players are drawing one card at a time, eventually they would run out of cards from their deck, while we get to keep on putting cards back into the deck with our Skwovet. If our opponent plays the Skwovet as well, it would be a very, very interesting game, because it would basically go into infinity. Because both players are not drawing any prize cards, both players are not decking out, so who is going to win? It's going to basically be a stalemate to infinity. Because there's nothing both players can do. It goes down to who will concede first. And both players are not going to concede. So what's going to happen? I wonder. I honestly wonder. If you're playing a control deck versus another control deck, it would be very interesting to see who will win if both players manage to block each other with their separate strategies. So if you get to basically deny the other player from doing the intended combos that they want to do, while they also successfully manage to deny you, their opponent, from doing your intended combo, what's gonna happen? It would be very, very interesting to watch. Anyways, back to the game. So we got Arezu, which we don't need anymore. We already have all the evolutions that we want. We actually don't have the Abomasnow in play though. So it would be nice to collapse and discard a Bibarel or the Skwovet. I think we need the Skwovet though. We need the other Raticate as well. I feel like we benched the Mimikyu a bit too early. We should have benched the Snover or the Zoroark and then discard the Abomasnow to transform. We have Heavy Ball though. We have Arven Heavy Ball to bench the Snover and evolve the Abomasnow. So we kind of need a heal block for us to deny them from playing the switch card. Since Miraidon EX plays a lot of basics, they would probably play switch cards to heal their Pokemon while switching to the bench as well. After playing the generator, they get to heal 30 damage and basically deny us the Panic Mask damage block after playing it enough times. So if they do switch card twice on the Pokemon after we play our Super Fang, they have a lot more than 40 HP remaining, and that means they can already knock out our Pokemon with the Panic Mask attached and deal with our Mimikyu with their 1 price basics. So they could quite easily play stage 1 like Flaffy as well in their deck. If they have Flaffy or the 1 price Ampharos, they could easily just deal with the Mimikyu with their generator without having to worry about the Super Fang, just because they can evolve it late as well. So the bad thing about Super Fang is that if your opponent chooses to evolve late, you kind of have to play the Panic Mask a second time. If you attach it while playing your Super Fang onto your active Alolan Raticate, they could actually evolve into the V-Star after you've done your Super Fang. And that's why we have our Mimikyu to basically block off all EX and V attacks. And that means we don't need to worry about any V-Star VMAXs that are evolving late. We just need to worry about those 1 price basic or supports like Bibarel, Baxcalibur, any cards that they have on their bench, any 1 price Pokemon that they basically have tagged into their deck, like a Metagross or anything that they can choose to attack with. We have to basically target those Pokemon with our Boss and Super Fang, basically dropping them down to 10 HP remaining over and over. Even if they choose to evolve late, those stage 1 or stage 2 cards, we can just eventually drop them down. Those few copies of Baxcaliburs that they have in play, we just need to target those, and then we're good to go. We just need 1 Mimikyu in play with that Panic Mask and we're safe. We obviously need Abomasnow as well to be able to block them from healing their, key attackers that they need to deal with the Mimikyu, unless if they choose to play Cologne in their deck. Obviously, if they play Canceling Cologne, they can quite easily deal with the Safeguard ability and allow them to knock out the Mimikyu with their EX Pokemon. So there are always counters for any ability that you choose to play. There are always counter strategies that we have to prepare for. Okay, so we got our Skwovet and Bibarel Fun thing about Raticate is that you get to search your deck as well with Cheer Up. The first attack, which is actually 1 darkness cost, allows you to search your deck for any card and put it into your hand, and that means we get to search for Panic Mask, our boss, Serena, anything that we want, reversal as well for the next Raticate. If we have a darkness attached to our Raticate, or if we have the reversal, and if we have more prize cards remaining, we actually get to play our reversal as the darkness cost for us to play our first attack, searching the deck for any card and putting it into our hand. So that's a fun alternative if you already have done your Super Fang on the last turn, and if they can't do any damage with their attacker, with their active Pokemon, having your Panic Mask attached to your Alolan Raticate, you could actually have extra turns with the same Raticate, playing Cheer Up instead of the Super Fang. Obviously, we need our boss for the next one to target, their other Pokemons on the bench to do the Super Fang with our same Raticate a second time. If we want to target a different Pokemon, we need the boss, and if we don't have the boss in our hand, we kind of have to search for it with our, the first Raticate with the Cheer Up attack, and that's why we want to be searching the deck. Okay, we got our mask in our hand. Are we going to attach it onto the Raticate? Apparently not. Because it's always smarter to choose when to attach onto the right Pokemon. If you attach the wrong Pokemon, there's no way you can reattach it unless if you shuffle it back after they knock it out. If they play a Lost Vacuum, you obviously can't retrieve it from the Lost Zone. If they discard your tool card, there's no more scrappers in standard, and that means they can't discard your tool card unless if they knock out your active. So if they knock out your Alolan Raticate with the Panic Mask attached, you can quite easily just shuffle back the tool card with your Roseanne. But obviously we only are playing 1 copy, and it's not smart to be wasting your Panic Mask, because we only have 3 to spare, and we may have a couple copies in the prize as well. Okay, here comes another generator. Onto the Belly Bolt, I'm expecting. Oh, it's on the Elaki VMAX apparently. They have the Tadbulk, still not evolved, on the bench. Kind of waiting for the Belly Bolt. It's a late evolution. Okay, here comes the Mesagoza. They got a Tails. No Beach Court though. I'm quite surprised. No Beach Court. I think we played a boss on the last turn. We did a boss on the Tadbulk because they can actually... I think they thought about using the Tadbulk to knock out the Mimikyu, because they can't actually do any damage if they evolve it into the EX, because there's no 1 prize Belly Bolt. There's no non-rule box Belly Bolt for standard right now, I don't think. And it's only doing 30 damage though. Tadbulk is actually doing 90, my bad. It's actually doing 90 because of Ilaki's ability. And that means Tadbulk can quite easily knock out our Mimikyu with 1 hit. But thank God we already attached our Panic Mask onto our Mimikyu, and that means they are doing 0 damage now, since they have 10 HP left on the Tadbulk. So if they play a switch card, it won't be enough recovery, because we have no Abomasnow in play. They can still heal 30 damage from their Tadbulk. But that would still not be enough though. They need 2 switch cards, and they need to be able to retreat after switching so that they can switch again just to heal 60 HP from the same Tadbulk. Unless if they play Penny. So Penny allows them to basically scoop up the Tadbulk, rebench it, and then play another generator for the energies. Or they may have to wait another turn just to attach enough energies from their hand if they don't get the generator. So all they need is just 2 energies on the second Tadbulk after playing the Penny to be able to attack for 90 damage onto our Mimikyu. But they need to obviously remove those damage counters. They chose to evolve though, so Belly Bolt is not doing any damage onto the Mimikyu. They are choosing to play Jumping Press to knock out our bench Pokemon 1 at a time. So we have the Panic Mask attached to our Raticate and the Mimikyu, and they have 5 prize remaining. So all we need to do is deny them enough prize cards while decking them out for the win. That's all we need to worry about. Make sure not to bench any more Pokemon if you know that you are giving off your opponent extra prizes by doing so. But we are choosing to play our Zorua for this game just because we have our Collapse Stadium still inside the deck. We haven't played our Collapse Stadium yet. And since we need the Abomasnow to basically deny them from healing their Pokemon, there are Miraidon on the bench, we have to play the Abomasnow. So we're just gonna pass a turn with our Mimikyu in the active. They're gonna slowly play the jumping press, targeting our bench, one at a time, slowly killing off for the last 5 prize. It's a lot though. They need 5 prizes, and we only have 4 Pokemons without the mask. 4 Pokemons in play without the mask. They could easily just do a boss, Escape Rope, at some point with their Elaki VMAX to knock out the Raticate. They can still deal with the Raticate with the Elaki, but by the time they do that, we would eventually get our Collapse Stadium to deny them the last knockout, winning a game by locking our opponent from drawing their last prize. So I think I'm just gonna end the voice right here. If you guys focus on the game, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Today we are featuring our Raticate Panic Mask combo with the new reversal and also Abomasnow, locking our opponent from healing any damage from their Pokemon, and also locking ourselves from healing any damage from our Pokemon. But that's beside the point. We don't need to heal any damage. We don't need to worry about it just because we are not taking any damage if we have Panic Mask attached onto the right Pokemon. If they play any V or EX attackers, we just need to target their support Pokemons like Excalibur. I keep saying that, but if they play like a Cherim or any other cards that can attack a Bibarel on their bench, we just need to target those cards to make sure they don't attack with those Pokemon with and attach our Panic Mask onto our Mimikyu to deny them from doing any damage at all onto the Mimikyu or Snorlax, since we get to deny them from using effects of attacks for the knockout as well. We are basically denying them from drawing enough prize cards to win the game. Even if they use damage counters or special conditions to do the knockout like Sableye or Paldean Clodsire EX, we get to deny them the effect of attack with our Snorlax while attaching our Panic Mask to prevent all damage done to it by any Pokemon that they have with 40 or less HP remaining, using our Super Fang reversal combo to drop down the key Pokemons that they have in play down to 10 HP remaining, locking them from healing and locking them from doing any damage with our Panic Mask Abomasnow combo. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, people. Enjoy life. Bye.